Welcome back to DIY PhD. I'm John Maddox yet again, and on this video we are going to be renovating this entire laundry room. So when we moved in, we got a hell of a deal on these washer and dryer units, but when we put them in, we could no longer open the door. So the door came off the hinges when we moved in, and we've needed to renovate it since we moved in, and we're finally getting to it. Stick around. Another video on my laundry room. So what happened is when we moved in, we got a hell of a deal on a washer and dryer unit, but when we put it in, we realized we could no longer open the door. So the door came off the hinges. It's been like that for 6 months, and we're gonna be actually completely renovating this space and moving these washer and dryer units over here and moving this sink over here. And what that should do is that should really open the room up and allow us to actually put a door back in here. We are going to be putting a barn door on the outside just to save some space because it is a tight room. But with this, we're going to be gutting the drywall out. We're going to be relocating the plumbing down from the washer hookups down to a sink hookup and moving these sink hookups up to a washer and dryer hookup. Also on the other side of this wall, we're going to be adding some outlets because there's an office on the other side of this wall and there are no outlets on this wall, and that's where actually the desk and computer sit, and it's very frustrating running extension cords all around the room. So while we have the room open, we're going to be adding some boxes, moving some electrical, we're going to be moving some plumbing around and kind of rearranging the whole room. We got new bottom cabinets, a really awesome butcher block table or countertop that's going to be going in, a farmhouse sink, and some new uppers and shelving. These literally stopped being used like 5 minutes ago. So laundry just literally came out of the dryer. I got a dirty clothes hamper here. I got a 3.5 gallon bucket of water over here for my paint spray in the garage, and all of our cabinets are still full. Luckily, I got some help. So for this project, I'm gonna bring in a team of people. So I have actually Randy behind camera right now, and I got Julio coming in to help me out, who's playing with the dogs right now. We're also a part of the team. So let's see how long it takes Randy or Julio to come in and help me out. Cast on set, please. I gotta do it over again now.
No, we can cut it.
So Julio, come on in.
Oh.
So we're gonna take all this out into the hallway and just stage it out there for now. And we're just gonna get everything cleaned and start prepping for demo. We got everything cleaned out. We're cleaned up under the cabinet, up under the sink. We're cleaned out all the cabinets, and I think the next thing is, I think we're ready for
Ready for demo!
Whoa, hold on.
Whoa.
We forgot. We have some really nice, expensive things here. Let's make sure we get these out before we start swinging the sledgehammer. How about that?
Okay.
I have the water lines unhooked. The dryer actually has a steam feature where you actually Y the cold line, and it actually has a cold line that goes to it. What I'm doing is I bought some caps that I'm going to be putting over these lines. When the valves sit for a long time, like when they get installed in the house, this house was built in 2002. So 18 years of it sitting open, when you close the valve, sometimes it won't actually fully close. And we had an issue before where this one actually is dripping, okay? Because it actually, even though it's closed, it doesn't fully close. So I got these caps just to seal it up while we start disassembling, demoing, and it's not sitting there dripping and causing more damage to the drywall than we want or more damage to the baseboard than we want. We got the washer and dryer out. We've unhooked all of our lines. We're getting ready to actually start demo now. One thing that we are doing though is we are preserving our baseboard. And one thing that a lot of people don't realize, even if you're not trying to preserve your baseboard, is to cut the caulk line between the baseboard and the drywall. If you just try ripping it out, you'll actually peel the paper off the drywall, and it will require a lot more work to put everything back when you're done. So what you want to do is you want to take your knife, any carpenter's knife, and you want to start at your baseboard where it meets the wall, okay? And then I like to run this way because I'm right-handed. And all you're gonna do is score between the baseboard and the wall. And what that's gonna do is when we actually start pulling it out, it's gonna give it a clean line. So when we put our baseboard back, we can just re-caulk it and then everything will still look good. It won't peel any of that paper up and run up the wall. So when it comes time to actually pull the baseboard off the wall, a lot of people use a pry bar, a cat's ball, a flat blade screwdriver, or even a chisel. I actually found this really cool tool called a molding claw bar. And it has a really wide, really thin face to it so you can pry behind, and it gives you a lot of surface area to pry back. What this does is it prevents you from popping holes in your drywall as you try and pull the baseboard off the wall. So it's a tool that I found that I fell in love with. When we bought the house, we changed out all the baseboard, and it came in real handy when we had to pull all the baseboard in the whole house. Next, we're actually ready for demo now. So that'll be the bottoms, the tops, and that'll get all the cabinets down. Next is going to be the backsplash. The backsplash will require a chisel. And since it's put on with mastic, then it actually adheres to the drywall, and there's no chance of saving the drywall. So we're gonna have to do some repair for that. And then finally is gonna be the countertop and sink. Since it's tiled over this sink, and we don't care about saving anything, and we got the dumpster, we're just gonna hit it with a sledgehammer, bust it all up, and haul it out to the dumpster. We open up all the drywall to expose the plumbing, the drain lines, the gas lines, the electrical, the vent for the dryer, as well as the additional plumbing that we're going to reroute to the sink. We made a good list of what we needed, and the first thing we're going to do is the drain line. The reason why we're doing the drain line first is it doesn't require us to turn off any water or gas to do that. So what I did is we have 2 inch here, we have 1.5 inch here. I'm extending that over, and then what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting a 90 to come back up and tie into the vent. And then we're actually going to sweep this over. And then this pipe is going to run through these holes that I just made. And then I'm actually going to go through one more set. I'm going to be burying the drain in here. We'll have the trap right here and going up, and that'll be the new drain line for our washer. So next we'll be moving these lines up to tie into the box for the washer and dryer. And then once we're done with this whole side, we'll be moving to take care of that and turning that washer and dryer hook up into a sink. We had a pretty late night last night getting everything rerouted and ready for drywall today. I don't know if you can notice or not, but we actually rerouted our dryer vent over here. And once Julio went up in the attic, he noticed a whole bunch of things that were bad about it. So that required a whole bunch of taping, rerouting, and kind of replumbing the entire thing. We got our outlets all rewired and relocated to where they need to be. We got our plumbing done. We got our new stub outs in. And we actually have our gas line rerouted over for our new dryer setup over here. And we were able to add in the outlets and get the outlet actually beyond the drywall, because whoever hung the drywall before us actually just covered over an outlet. So we opened that back up, got our new outlets in the office where we've been wanting them. So got our blocking in, everything's ready to go. One thing that we do want to do is the flooring. So The flooring stopped at the cabinets that were here before, so we're actually gonna pull up the flooring, and we have one box left over from the install. So we're gonna kind of piece it in and get it all the way back. So when we set our washer and dryer, we'll have flooring underneath that, as well as when we set our bar top and our butcher block, as well as our sink, we'll have flooring under the whole thing. We got the walls textured, painted, sanded, done. Everything's looking good. Everything looks clean. Then we got to the floor. When we grabbed our extra flooring out of the attic, we were unaware of us only having 4 additional pieces. So I tried taking up the floor and inlaying it in place, which is not possible. The best way to do it is to actually back it all the way to the wall and then kind of relay everything. All the flooring has to come out. That's the next step. From here all the way over there has to come out. Everything. Just fucking start over. Like, it's annoying. So an update on where we're at. We ended up having to gut all of the flooring in this room going all the way back to the laundry room. The reason why we did that is so we could correctly seam the tongue and groove to actually lay the new flooring in proper. So putting flooring in that room actually caused us to re-floor this entire room. So baseboards went up, they went back down, we got everything down and correct. It's also gonna help prevent us from any heaving or buckling from trying to inlay a piece in the middle of the floor. So what we're doing here, we have our washer and dryer in and we have them all plumbed up. We have all of our white pipes in, we have our dryer vent taped and put in properly. We've cut our butcher block to size. We're getting ready to drop it down, shim it up and get ready to cut out our sink, and we got one cabinet mounted. So we're really close to the finish line. We're gonna put another cabinet up over here. We're gonna throw our shelves in the middle. We got some shelves for down here. Put our old shelving up in here. Clean the floor, put down some more baseboard, and then we're all set. Thank you for watching this episode of DIY PhD. We are officially done. We've actually been living with this room the way it is for a couple weeks now. We officially have our washer and dryer on this side of the room. We have our sink on this side of the room. The door is functional. All the doors on the washer and dryer are functional. And this is just a way better layout. We have our beautiful butcher block in. We decided to only go with one shelf. We got our new uppers in, which you can actually get to things now. The old uppers were way back here and you just couldn't reach them. Like I said, the washer and dryer came out beyond the door. It was just a nightmare. We've been living with it. Julio did an amazing job at putting the tape on all the dryer duct work that we reran inside the wall in the attic, and I've never heard this laundry room be as quiet as it is now, especially with the door being able to be closed. So yeah, we love everything and how it turned out. And like I said, we've been using it for a couple weeks and it's worked out nicely.